Hello YouTube. Recently I became the lucky owner of this W209 again. Yes, I know, again. W209 Mercedes, but this one is 320, which means it's got M112 engine in it. And I never had 112 engine before. I had 113, which was the 5-liter engine. And the disclosure on this auction sticker says the loss type is unknown. However, I can be pretty sure what caused it, because there is a so stinky smell inside, so it was definitely caused by the water damage. I am not sure yet how high or low the water was. The only thing I know, this car won't start. I'm not even talking about the run, so there is no any kind of clicking sounds from the starter. And I think the issue may be related to the starter itself, because if it would be the locked engine, I would see the lights in the interior kind of dim when I try to crank, because it cannot overcome the locking condition of the engine. But that's not the case with that car. There is just like nothing happening. I can hear the relays and stuff, but yeah, there is nothing happening besides that. So let's see if the engine at least turns over, and we'll proceed further. Okay, 27mm socket, crankshaft bolt. Okay, the engine spills good. I can feel the compression. I cannot even overcome it. Okay, so no problem from the engine locking perspective. So let's move on to the electricals. The next thing I would like to get to the relays and fuses on the driver's side fuse box. That's gonna be this. Okay, more light it is. If I'm not mistaken, this is the relay for the starter, and one of those guys, I don't recall which one, 20 or 7.5 amps is the fuse for starter. And let's compare to the manual. ST start enable 31 52 57, 31 52 57. So this is the under the hood. Okay, 52 is the most right one from our point of view. So let me grab something. I should have the okay, certified fuse puller. Let's check it. And the fuse is blown. Okay, I got 20 amp fuse. Moment guys, let me replace it. Okay, I have brand new old 20 amp fuse. Let's install it. I kinda don't believe it's gonna be that simple fix, because there is the reason why the fuse was blown to begin with. But regardless, let's wait for the pop. Okay, I'm gonna bring you guys in here. Maybe we'll hear the pop if it's gonna happen. Okay, again, no crank condition, and I'm pretty sure we'll have this fuse. I'm sorry guys, that a bad operator work, and the fuse is not blown. Not blown, but there is still no start condition. That's interesting. Fuse is not blown, but there is no start condition. Let me just, for the sake of science, swap this relay. I'm pretty sure this is the starter relay. Okay, I have one. Okay, for example, no, that's not the one. It's almost similarly looking. Okay, this is the one. Okay, let's try it. It's dirty. Okay, let's check it out again. Keys in the ignition, and nothing. Okay, let's check the fuse again. It looks like it's not blown. I think I can see it from here. No, it's not blown. Everything is good. Okay, let's check the other fuses. Do you guys recall which ones were those? I already forgot. Start enable 31, 52, 57. 52 is okay. 57 is on the opposite side. I think, can I get it? This one appears to be good. So it goes back. And another one was 31, which is inside in the cabin. Guys, I'm gonna check it on my own. It's not very convenient. Well, maybe. Okay, 31 is the lower on the left row. And it's fine. Oops. Oh my god, lost it somewhere. And let's take another 5 amp fuse. 7.5. 5. Yeah, unfortunately I cannot open the door wider, therefore it's a little tricky to insert the fuse. Come on. Okay, fuse is in. Like for the good measure, let's try to start it. Nothing is happening. And yes, this car should be able to start without depressing the brake pedal, unlike most of other cars for some reason. I guess the next step would be to check if the power from here is going to the starter. And in order to do that, we're gonna raise the car. I'm gonna remove part of the exhaust system just to get the access to the fuse, not to the fuse but to the starter, and we'll proceed further. Actually, Let's check one more thing while we are here under the hood. I would like to put a probe on this, on the fuse, the one that was blown. I just turned off, the light, so you could see better, and me too actually. So I am turning on the ignition, and I can see it's lighting up, and it's in a couple seconds it's kind of, should turn off. It's like what the starter does. So we know that there is the power that's supposed to be go to the starter, exciting wire, whatever it is, to trigger the starter to start. The starter is located right there. You may see the even label, I guess, on the starter, and looks like it was replaced not too long ago, because it looks too clean comparing to the the rest of the car. And in order to get to the starter, I think I'm gonna need to remove this portion of the exhaust. Hopefully it's gonna be enough to remove just this right part, or passenger side part, that goes up to this point. However, there is a chance that I'm gonna need to at least release the left side to give it some wiggle room. I don't know yet, we'll see. But before I do that, I'm gonna need to remove this brace right here, and in order to do that, I'm gonna need to remove or release at least this fender liner, and then hopefully I can get the access to the bolt that holds the brace. It's already partially removed by someone. And a couple push clips on the side. Side cutters will do. Push clips and done. I cleared the access to the bolt holding the brace from the side, and I already broke quite a few sockets. Not on this car, but on a similar cars. Whew. Okay, and this, and the second one. All right, now we have more access to the bolts that secures the exhaust. I'm gonna slightly lube them with the penetrating oil. Sorry guys. Okay, and let's see if they're gonna budge or not. I'm using the swivel. I hope the bolt won't break. Okay, let's maybe start with this one first. And I broke my swivel. That said, it was pretty good swivel. Alright, let's figure out something else. Okay. The bigger size. It's sitting there. It looks like it's going. Yeah, I can see it's turning, but even the penetrating oil doesn't help much, looks like. And this is the easy bolt. Maybe it's 12 though. I kinda don't think it is. I think it's 13. But let's... No, that's definitely not 12. Okay. It goes like one click at a time. Alright, first one is undone, the easy one. Okay, it's not stripped or anything, so I'll reuse it again. What can we figure out with this one? I have a secret weapon. Let's see if it will fit in there. And actually, yes. Looks like again, it's gonna be one click at a time, I think, but it's going. And I'm finishing with a 1/4-inch drive because the bolt is loose and the space and the weird angle doesn't allow much room in there. Alright, now we'll need to disconnect the O2 sensors. One and check. Oh, this one is I'm idiot, trying to disconnect the other side. Okay, this goes here. It's already hanging. This is hanging, so this part is loose. All right, 13 on one side, 12 on the other side. Let's shake them back and forth just a little bit. Okay. and technically now I can rotate it how I want to get the better access. So both bolts are okay. One is undone. Let's finish the other one. It appears that they made it the passenger side of the exhaust separate from the driver's side exactly for this particular reason. The access to the starter. Okay, it's separated in here. Interesting if there's gonna be a lot of water inside. So technically this is the only bracket that holds this portion of the exhaust in place, assuming we'll be able to wiggle it out after it's undone. Let's try 12. Doesn't budge. Hopefully it's not gonna fall down on me. Let's check. Those bolts released. I apologize, I did something without you guys looking, but I released two bolts holding the converter back to the header. I removed those two nuts and I slightly wiggled the exhaust back and forth, and I was able to release the passenger side from this connection, and I removed it. So now we have the pretty good access to our starter. And what I'm gonna do right now, I will disconnect the battery because the positive wires are very close to the metal parts in here, and we want to make sure we won't arc anything, we won't do any, how it calls, the short circuit. But looking on the headers inside, those are fairly crusty pieces. We'll see. I don't have much hopes for this engine, to be honest, by looking at that. Possibly once we'll figure out the starter thing, I will slightly drain, I will undo this drain bolt, and I'll see if the water will start to splash first or oil. If it's oil, then we're good. If it's water inside, then it's gonna be iffy. So yeah, let me disconnect the battery. Disconnect the battery now, and we'll continue. Let's try to undo the small wire that actually controls the starter. It's 10mm nut, and all right, it's removed. Small wire. Now there is the plastic plug sitting on the top of the 13mm nut, which I just removed and exposed the nut. Let me try to get there. With the 13mm socket. Let's see if I'll be able to. It's a self kind of locking nut, so it's gonna be not so easy to undo almost till the moment it's coming off. And then when this wire is undone, we're gonna undo two main bolts holding the starter in place. Looks like it's easier now, and I just undid 13mm nut. Let's see if it's possible to remove the wire. All right, it's removed, so the starter is technically disconnected. Now I'm gonna undo those two big bolts. One is undone, so just one bolt is what holds. Ooh. Hopefully it's the correct one. Okay, let's see if we can fish the whole starter assembly out. If it's gonna be enough space for us to maneuver. And it's not really a lot of space, to be honest. All right. Oof. we got it out. So this is the starter we just removed. Let's do some testing. I connected the leads to the battery, negative, positive. Negative goes to the kind of ground. Let's check the big motor directly first. Okay, so this assembly is working. We need to check the kind of this, I guess it's like a big relay, or whatever you want to call it, and we're gonna imitate the signal that goes to the signal wire lead, and we're simply gonna, okay, you can hear nothing is happening for that part. Let's first of all let's check if a 112 starter and 272 starter are the same. They're slightly different. Interesting if we'll be able to install this one instead of that one, because the angle looks to be slightly different for this opening right here. Interesting, yeah. We'll see if it's gonna work out. But let's first of all check if this starter is any good. Okay, and of course, okay, you can see this one is working, in other words, and we can check it directly as well. This one works. We're gonna attempt to install this one. Let's try to maneuver the new old starter in place. Okay. First of all, I'm gonna need to see if it may sit in place properly. Crap. Oh, okay. So there is a chance then. Let me find those big bolts. This one was lower bolt. Okay, so far so good. And let's figure out with the wiring. I need to find this control. Okay, there's the little control wire right here. Can I feed it from underneath how it was before? And yes, I can. And the big wire, it's right here, looks like. Okay, I'm gonna install those two nuts. Okay, that's the big nut. So this like curvy little ratchet comes very handy for this particular purpose. Let me put. Come on. I'm still not sure about the big nut. looks like it's tight, but it made much less revolutions comparing to the it's tight comparing to the other starter. And that's the second bolt that is holding the starter in place, and we'll check if this starter is engaging the flex plate same way as the original, or actually not original. It looks like per the sticker, like I told you previously guys, the starter was replaced previously, looks like. What do you think guys, if the engine gonna start? If it starts, if it's gonna be running okay, if it was hydro-locked or not at one point, any bent rods, any weird sounds, your suggestions are welcome in the comments. I won't tighten it all the way yet, until the moment the other bolt is ready and set. It goes, but I cannot turn it with my fingers, so it will take a moment or two. Guys, I will save you from the boring part. Starter is in place, and the only thing I forgot is to put this plastic cap on the top of the 13mm nut, and I just did. So now we need to somehow put this piece of the puzzle in place, and there is, oh, how many water does it have? Ooh. Alright, that's enough of draining. Let's try to push it all the way forward, and now we're gonna push this part all the way back, and hopefully nope, a couple more millimeters. In place. That was not easy. That was not easy at all. Okay, I put the exhaust back in place. I connected the oxygen sensors. Let me put this wire in place. I tightened those nuts, this connection, and looks like I'm ready to lower the car and connect the battery. I will not put this rod yet, because who knows if the engine is knocking or, you know, gone too far. I will not you know, swap the engine or, you know, repair the engine. It's gonna be my parts car then, but in the event it's still fine, who knows, maybe I'll be able to sell it for cheap to the next lucky owner. So yeah, let's lower the car, connect the battery, and we'll give it a first start. The car is on the ground. I disconnected the positive wire this time, just was more convenient for me at the moment. So let's put it back in place. Let's take 10mm socket and try not to arc between the positive and some ground. Okay, looks like we are good so far. Let's remove this from the engine. Okay, nothing is obstructing the belt. Okay, exhaust, I mean intake filter is not here. Maybe it's in the trunk, I don't recall. You know what I forgot to do? I forgot to check the oil. Guys, I probably have a dipstick somewhere for this engine, or maybe not for this engine, but at least something, and I'll try to measure the thing. Bear with me, guys. I found a dipstick from M272 engine, which could be totally incorrect length, but I just would like to see if there is any oil or it's not overfilled. Looks like there is something on the tip of the dipstick, but I'll give it a try. It looks like it's not overfilled, at least too much. Let's crank it up, if it's gonna crank. I hear the noises. There you go. The secondary pump is working. It sounds like a turbo. Alright, let's come down. The engine is fairly smooth. I can hear maybe the idler pulley or tensioner, slight noise, but nothing crazy. Okay, let me put the brace back in place. So I guess at this point looks like the engine is doing fine. Let's see if the alternator is working, if there are any messages on the board. You know, it's just complaints about the restraints, like SRS system. Not a big deal. I don't see any blown airbags inside, so it shouldn't be anything too concerning. I think at this point, let me raise this car slightly. And we'll check the transmission. If it engages or not. Okay. How's our power steering? Good. Brake pedal, reverse. Oh, we got the we have the camera. Okay, the wheels are spinning. Good. Neutral. I cannot engage drive because that thing is slightly out of place. What about now? Now it's okay. Drive is engaging. What do we have here? English, okay. Good. The seats are not working, nothing, not even the headrests. Windows are working, the rear windows are working, that's good. You know, I'm probably gonna, let me check I'm probably gonna replace the oil, change the oil. Looks like this car deserves the second chance. It's got the crack on the windshield. This is not ideal because this windshield contains antenna, so it's not easy to replace it. Let's say it's not easy to get the donor windshield from the car on the junkyard, because it's hard to remove it without damaging those wires that are going on the side of the windshield.